ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another vloggy vlog. On this episode, we're going to be reviewing this Ducati Monster 937 after 15,000 miles of ownership. And I'm going to go through a few points and bring you up to speed about my feelings about this bike. So we're going to go through reliability and issues. We're going to go through the value of it. We're going to go through cost of maintenance, fun and joy, all the mods that I've done to it, likes and dislikes, my future plans for the bike, and also comparing it to a Monster SP, after which I will do my verdict, and off we go. So, I got this bike 2 years ago now at this point, a little under 2 years. It will be 2 years in a month from now, and I have 15,000 miles. It's the dead of winter in New York City, so it's a perfect day to just sit here in the garage and pace around the bike and talk about everything that I love about it. Now, let's go through all the mods. Right away, very first thing I did was change the mirrors. These are CRG lane splitters, so they fold in, and the original stuck over here. And these right here fold in like this. They're perfect for lane splitting. And people always ask me, are they not too wide? Like, I mean, it seems silly to make your bike wider for lane splitting and blah, blah, blah. Not true at all. I don't agree whatsoever, because this right here, like I always say, is my feeler gauge, right? If I'm lane splitting and this happens, I need to calm down. Like, I don't need more narrower mirrors at that point. I need to calm down and relax. That means I was just 3 inches from the car. So that's the reason for lane splitters, and I see plenty of them with them, so that's totally fine. The second mod I did was obviously the quad lock, the wireless quad lock. So I got the metal pro mount with the dampening pad and the wireless charger that actually runs the cable back under the seat. And actually, you can actually see it. I didn't even do anything crazy. I just kind of ran it along. The very next thing is obviously Evotech spools for the front. Then we got Evotech spools for the back. These are for sliding, and I'm a proponent of slide protection because I have crashed before, and like seeing your bike slide down the street, better off with frame sliders. And these right here are your spools for putting the bike up on a stand, just like it is now. So these are Evotech. The next thing I did was put on the Bridgestone tires, because Bridgestone is my jam. The following thing I did was this Evotech protection for the radiator. These radiators are not cheap. They actually cost quite a bit of money. So this is a very important part, and I recommend a radiator right away. And the links to all of this will be down in the description. So this is the radiator that I got. Then we got these Evotech frame sliders, these big bars right here. These are my favorite. I love Evotech. They make quality products. The presentation, even when you get the box shipped to you, is gorgeous. And I'm going to link to all the install videos here. Install these frame sliders, and this is what I had on my 620 as well. I trust this. This is like solid. It goes into the engine bolts. So this is not like some dinky bullshit that you can get. This thing right here will actually protect your engine and let the bike slide down the street as you are tumbling along it and hopefully getting up, not hurt. Next, we got the turn signals. These are OEM turn signals that come on all the European bikes. I guess they're not legal in the United States because I guess we need the turn signals to protrude from the bike. And these right here do not. So these are sequential. They're adorable, as you can see. So we did that. Then this is not exactly in order, but whatever. Then this right here is my latest mod, and these are the handguards from Power Bronze. And no, they're not bark busters. They're just plastic, but they're mostly for wind and cold temperature, because they do help, because it's 20 degrees out there right now and I'm still riding, and any bit helps. And they go perfectly with my heated gloves. But yeah, these are Power Bronze. I like these. I'll do a link to them as well. Then we got the wrapped nonsense over here. This is my first time wrapping, 3M 2080 wrap. And I didn't do a very well job, but it is what it is. Then we also got the DID a gold chain, 520. It's gorgeous, it's beautiful. The gold chain is a must. Then I did the Moto Dynamic tail tidy, this right here. And I used to have my turn signals here, and I actually recently got this beautiful thing. It's a prototype, so we are actually not going to talk about it too much. But yeah, this right here is a prototype, and it's an integrated taillight, and it's freaking sick, and it's going to be on the market really, really soon. So watch out for that. So yeah, tail tidy. Then we got this right here, and this right here is my little trunk from Hepco and Becker. This thing weighs a ton. It's a solid piece. I got my Kriega straps, obviously. Thank God for Kriega. Kriega, really appreciate your support over the years as well. But yeah, this right here is a must if you go touring, if you go camping, because this is like your little trunk. You literally can set up, like, you can eat off of it if you want, or you can work on it. But yeah, that way the Kriega bag lays flat. I do my US 30 Kriega, US 20 Kriega, or US 40, depending on how big we're going. And bam, 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 the bag is perfect when it fits there. So the next thing as a mod is this crazy thing right here. And I'll do a link in the description as well for this. But this is like the little scoop for the bottom. It's not for everybody. It's also from Power Bronze. And I know how some people are torn on the looks. I kind of dig it. I'm going to wrap it. I'm actually going to wrap the whole bike like British Racing green, I think, or blue. I don't know. But anyway, so this right here is like a little scoopy scoop for the bottom, which I actually appreciate, which I do like. You know, I think it fits the bike fine. Then I also got this little foot. It's loose, but basically this makes my footprint bigger because I often stop in on the side of the road or some squishy shit. So this right here helps. So that's exciting. And I need to tighten this because apparently these are loose. Yeah. Good. All right, so let's continue with the mods. So the next exciting mod, obviously, and I also did the tire stickers from Bridgestone, because, you know, and also the tire, Bridgestone Battle Access T32s. The next mod is the MIVV Cat pipe. So I basically removed the catalytic converter, which was right here. It was like 7 pounds, and I'm gonna have a link to that install as well. And this is a MIVV piece, and this is a MIVV XM5 exhaust. And I've been with MIVV for like 13 years. MIVV is awesome. They're right down the street from Terminoni. They've won MotoGP races. A lot of people don't know about MIVV. I do. It sounds good. It looks good. And I love it. I've been rocking MIVV for a long time. And it's crazy how life came full circle. And MIVV and Adriani Group actually hooked me up with this exhaust to install on my bike. To them, I'm very thankful. So lovely exhaust for sure. Then we got the fully adjustable Öhlins in the back, because this bike comes with a non-adjustable sack suspension in the back, and I think it's a KYB in the front. But basically, yeah, this right here is the DU126, and I will leave a link and a video description as well for the install. But basically this right here, yeah, this is the fully adjustable boy. It's adorable. You know, you got the clicker here, you got the adjuster there, adjuster here. Yeah, it's nice. Because the thing is, this shock also comes with the exterior adjusters that you put right here, you know, like the big reservoir and a big knob. I just didn't want all that because it's going to be one of those set it and forget it type of situations where I'm going to set the suspension ones and I might change the preload for the passenger or like whatever, but that's it. I'm not going to do much to that. And the next thing that I did was change the internals on the fork. See, I got little Öhlins stickers. That's it. That's all I did. So now it's better. No, I'm kidding. But I got the Nix 30 cartridge kits, as you can see, front, both sides. These are fully adjustable. You got your preload, you got your compression and rebound adjustments. Look at that, comp, rebound, boom, boom, boom. And I'm actually gonna go to Washington Cycles, this place in New Jersey that sets up your suspension, and they're gonna hook it up for me. So I'm very much excited for that. Another mod that I do is I use Invoxia GPS for my bike as a GPS tracker. So I'm gonna link to that as well. So you should get yourself one, because those I love, because it tells you where you've been, where it is. It's a handy thing. And I've also upgraded the USB port under my seat to be fast charging, because the one that comes with it is actually pretty slow, regular charging, and I upgraded it to the faster charging. Then I got, my bike was a Plus, Monster Plus, so I got this little cover here. I'm also going to install Ducati spacers. I have them right over there. So yeah, this little slop here is about to disappear. And this right here is the next thing I'm doing. This is a Harley Davidson bracket, and I'm actually going to install it right here like this. Boom, and tuck my plate. My plate will be tucked. I also want to get a tune. So I'd imagine if after I tune it, the bike will behave a little bit better. I'm considering going with the BHP UK tuner company. We'll see. So I'm trying to think if I've modded anything else. I removed the chain cover. And yeah, I think as far as mods, that might be it. I'm also considering a taller seat, because they make a tall seat like an inch taller, which I appreciate, because the seat is a little bit low, from my opinion. The bike is dirty, needs to be cleaned, but it's filthy outside. I'm also about to replace brake pads, but not really for any reason. I'm just gonna do it because it's been 2 years and I just want to, you know, have fun with the bike. I'm also considering a windshield for touring. I tried one for Power Bronze, it didn't really work out, but I'm gonna figure out what I want to do there. And like I said, I'm gonna wrap this whole bike, make it sexy, maybe get it wrapped professionally. We shall see. Reliability and issues. I've obviously had to do, I got the bike brand new, so I had to do the 1,000 mile, you know, like the initial service at Ducati. That cost about $390, and all they did was an oil change and like reset the computer and, you know, check the brakes and all that. Besides that, as far as reliability, the only big issue that I've had is that my front sprocket actually came loose. And I don't know why that's even possible, but basically I lost the front sprocket nut and the little spacer, the one that you fold out, you know, like the retaining washer, was the thing that held my sprocket on, which is kind of crazy. But the thing is, it's nice to know that the front sprocket holds on with the retaining spacer. So that's the only thing that happened to me. And I actually noticed it right away. I was riding and there was weird noise coming from the left foot. And upon inspection, my front nut have come off. But that's after 15,000 miles. That's fine. I mean, it is weird. It's not fine, but it is. That has happened. Trying to think what else. That's it. I mean, I've done a few oil changes. I've obviously changed the tires. I've done the oil changes myself. I have not had to change the brakes. I have not had to change the brake fluid or anything. So yeah, like as far as reliability, no issues at all. It has never failed me, has never not started. I think like a couple of thousand miles ago, I had a weird code on the dashboard that said like, it was like traction control error. And then it disappeared upon startup. So 14,700 miles, that's what I have. And I'm actually curious, let's see what I've averaged. So I've averaged 38.6 miles per gallon, which is not bad. Average speed, 37 miles per hour. Yeah, that's it. That's it. So that's that. As far as issues and reliability, I mean, that's pretty much it. I've taken it in crazy rainstorms. I've taken it in the cold, in the salt, in the freaking wet, whatever. And it starts right up. I don't see any upcoming issues either, but you never know. I could expect maybe some issues down the line just because that was my experience with my Monster 620, which I also have, which I put 65,000 miles onto. So that said, issues, no issues at all. Value. As far as the value is concerned, it's not a cheap bike, right? It's obviously a premium machine. You can certainly purchase a bike that probably has more or better value out there if you were to go into the Japanese market, or even like something like a Triumph, you know, because we were talking about like a triple RS or whatever, like that comes with like all the Öhlins and blah, blah, blah. I mean, I'm not trying to get to my Monster SP discussion just yet, but I could see how there is better bikes out there for the value. That said, like for me, when I was buying this bike, I wanted a Ducati, and I understand that there's a thing called Ducati tax, for better or for worse. It's not for everybody, and I guarantee you, there's half a dozen bikes that you can bring up that might be better spec'd or better equipped, better value, cheaper to own, this and that, and you would be right. That said, that is not and was not my mission. I wanted a Ducati Monster, and I got a Ducati Monster. So as far as value goes, I think it's totally fine. Yes, I have this big expensive 18,000 mile valve job coming up, which is going to be like $1,000 and whatnot, unless I do it myself, which I won't because I ain't got the skills. But yeah, besides that, it's all good. So as far as value goes, I think this is a great value. It's an entry-level Ducati. It's an entry-level Monster, right? And obviously Ducati's sky's the limit. You can get yourself a $100,000 Superleggera. But I think this thing is worth every penny. I would buy it again, 100%. Now, as far as cost of maintenance, obviously this is a big thing that everybody always is concerned with. Ducatis or European bikes, I guess, are notoriously more expensive. I think because there's fewer of them, they make fewer units, so therefore there's less parts out there in the market. Also, the European dealership probably charge a little bit more per hour. So the cost of maintenance, like I said, I have not had to do any work to this bike besides the 1,000 mile break-in service that Ducati requires you to bring the bike in. So that was $400, like I said. Also, the tires, you know, obviously the tires, as far as maintenance cost goes, that's like something up to you. Because if you ride a little bit versus you ride a lot, or if you like sticky tires, obviously you see here I run Bridgestones, Battle Axe T32s, and I want to thank Bridgestone for always supporting the channel. And yeah, these are great touring tires. They're good for wet, they're good for distance, so that's why I run them. And so that's cost of maintenance, I guess, right? Like I said, I haven't had to replace brake pads. I haven't had to do anything. I've changed my oil. I also have changed the chain because I messed up last winter and things got grody, and my stock chain, I always wanted to put on the gold chain anyway, so I didn't take well care of the black stock chain, the original OEM chain, so I did replace that. So I guess that's cost of maintenance as well. But as far as other maintenance thingies, you freaking pump up the tires, put in some gas, that's it. That's the cost of maintenance. But obviously 18,000 mile major service, we will cross that bridge when we get there, and we'll see. You know, we shall see how it goes. All right, fun and joy. That is a weird category. As far as fun and joy is concerned, this bike is the truth. It has all the braps. It's quick, 111 horsepower, 413 pounds wet, and it's even lighter than that since I removed a couple of things. Fun. I mean, I wish I knew how to wheelie. I mean, this has wheelie control, right? Like it has a Ducati wheelie control and all those electronics. Part of the fun is also all the modes, right? Because you can dial in the bike exactly how you want it. You can do whatever level of traction control or lean ABS, wheelie control, power delivery, a bunch of different stuff available with this Bosch unit. So that adds to the fun, because right now I have the wheelie control turned up to like 2 or something, so I could gun the bike. And unfortunately, I don't know how to do wheelies, and I should learn. You're totally right. But you can gun the bike, and the front will come up. The front will come up just a little bit, you know, like this much. Just be like, wee, wee, and it feels good. So yeah, as far as fun and joy, freaking 10 out of 10. 10 out of 10. This bike is a complete It's a complete hooligan bike, and now with the exhaust, I mean, it's mental. It's like listen to it. Listen to this bike. I'm just gonna start it up just for the hell of it, just to show you. Okay, all right, let's calm down. The beauty of this bike is that, I mean, I'm also maybe a little bit weird, but I tour on this bike. Like, I've been to Alabama on this bike. We went deep Canada, like 500-mile days, whatever. This bike is totally fine. The seat is comfy. The sitting position is comfy. You're just in there. I'm 5'9", 180 pounds. So this bike is actually perfect size for me. And I would rather, like, obviously a Multistrada is probably in my future because I'm going to do some touring on that, like more distance. The V2 Multistrada actually has the same exact motor, but I'm not buying that bike anytime soon. So that's why I'm actually going to do a lot more touring on this bike. So I'm excited. This bike is truly the definition of fun and joy. Smiles per miles and just like sending it. Like it's a beautiful machine. All right, next we got likes and dislikes. Likes, I love the modes, I love the power, I love the noises, I love the comfort, I love the looks, I love the way it makes me feel. I love when I pull up, I feel like $1,000,000. It's a Ducati, so that makes you feel fucking awesome. And obviously this is a biased video. It's all about a Ducati. I'm a Ducati nerd, so yeah, this bike makes me feel extra special. Dislikes, I mean, sure, the suspension, you know, like that's kind of like I'm bleeding into the discussion about the Monster SP here, but the suspension is not adjustable from the get-go. So it's a little bit divey and it's a little bit harsh, front and back. I don't know. There's something wrong with it, you know. So that's why I actually had to expeditiously install. Well, not that expeditiously, but I had to install the Öhlins. What else? I don't know, like when you first started up, it idles really loud, but I guess that has nothing to do with the bike. It's just like, it has that fast idle in the beginning. So for the first minute, especially with the Ducati out and no GB killers, the bike is like, and you kind of freak out. It's a little bit jarring, if you will. But that's not really a big dislike. It's good on gas, so that's not a bad thing. It's easy to park. The turning radius is awesome. Like the turning radius on this bike is freaking magnificent. Look at this. You can actually like that is double the turning radius of my previous Monster easily. So that is a great benefit as well. Dislikes. It's got to be something. I think the only dislike is the Desmo service is going to be expensive, and yeah. That's the only potential dislike, I think. The Desmo service is going to be a bitch. Everything else is dope. I sorted out the suspension, the tires are fine, the everything. Exhaust, it sounds like I wanted. I might change the exhaust again just for fun, just to experiment, because why not? But yeah, everything else is totally dope. No complaints. I honestly don't have any dislikes of this bike. Then we're gonna go to plans. Like I said, there's not a lot of plans. Like my only plans right now, like I said, are to wrap the bike to make it a little bit fun. I already got the tail tidy, so I'm gonna put on my plate over here, tuck the plate, congestion pricing, we don't fuck with that. So I'm gonna tuck the plate, cover it a little bit, but that's a separate thing. Then, as far as other plans, my plan is to just ride this bike. Maybe a big touring windshield for touring, for when I go far, just to put stickers on it, because I love stickers and I don't want to put stickers all over the bike. But on a big touring screen, mad stickers, I think that would be fun. I think that would be really cool, actually. That's it as far as plans. Plans is to literally to just ride it far, ride it wide. I wish I was smart enough to do the Desmo service myself, but I don't think I am. I think I'm just gonna let the professionals deal with it. And eventually I'm gonna get another bike. I'm gonna get my third Ducati at this point. Like, I'm into the Ducati world, so my next bike will be a Ducati, and that's totally okay, and it's totally fine, and nobody's upset. But yeah, my plan is to ride this bitch. Do the track day. I wanna do a track day. I've never been to the track on any bike, never had a track day experience, so taking this thing to the track would be epic. All right, so this brings us to the final point, the comparison against the Monster SP, the point that I already kind of flirted with a few times, after which we will do the verdict for the whole enchilada. Obviously, the Monster SP comes with a few extra Farkley bits. The motor is exactly the same, right? You still get 111 horsepower. You still get same amount of torque, so there's no tuning or anything. But you do get the Öhlins in the front, Öhlins in the back, fully adjustable. And you also get a non-adjustable dampener, which is one thing I didn't mention for plans. I might potentially put on an Öhlins steering dampener, maybe. But the one that comes on SP is not adjustable. It also comes in that red color, which I just personally don't like, especially the red seat. But it's all easily replaceable, right? You could totally replace all that. It's a better package. Extra $2,000, right? Or $2,500. I don't know exactly. I think if that's what you are looking for, if you want that SP experience, 100% get it. It's definitely worth it. Now, for me, I knew that I was going to fondle this bike. I enjoy, like with my 620, Monster. That's what I enjoyed. I enjoyed the basic model and then building it up, changing the suspension. Because on my 620, I changed the suspension front and back. I did this and that and the third. Same thing as here. So to me, it's not always about the smart financial move, because for me, it wasn't about that. Like, over the last 2 years, I've dumped a bunch of money into this bike and I've loved every single second of it. I've had an opportunity to pick up a Monster SP actually about 2 months ago, because Ducati New York actually gave me an amazing trade-in value for this bike, like ludicrous. And I had a chance because I was wondering about installing the shock in the back and the shock in the front, which ended up costing me over $2,000 because the back is $1,000 and the front is $1,200 plus installation. I installed the back myself. The front had to be done by somebody else, by a professional. So that's another, I guess, maintenance price that I've paid, but that's an elective. Yeah, I had a moment where I was deciding whether I should just get an SP, whether I should just put the stock exhaust back on, stock parts, stock mirrors, trade this in, get an SP, buy myself some time as far as the Desmo service goes, because right now I'm at 15,000 miles. 18,000 miles is around the corner. Push that can down the road. But in the end, I ended up getting this bike. I ended up getting the regular. I did not get the SP. And I'm totally happy with it. And I'm not just here convincing myself of it. I truly, honestly feel that way. I also, sometimes the gold fork seems a little jarring to me, especially on a black bike. That said, I think it would look dope. I mean, I could see, this is a tough point. I could see getting both. But I do like the black. Since I got the Öhlins now, I do like the whole black look. It does look adorable. Big fan. So what is the verdict? I love this bike. I love this bike. I have zero regrets. I would buy it again. I don't miss the trellis, because that is the big controversial thing about this bike, is the trellis frame. The trellis frame is gone. This is a Yamaha. This is a Honda, blah, blah, blah. The thing is, no, this is a performance machine. Panigales don't have steel frames anymore, Those steel frames, those trellis frames came from superbikes. They got trickled down. And superbikes no longer use the trellis. I mean, maybe the Super Duke 1390 does or something, or H2, Kawasaki. But the trellis frame is gone. My 620 has a bigger trellis than 1200, 821, 1100 Evo, whatever put together. So anybody who's saying that this is not a real Monster because the trellis is gone, the trellis has been gone since fucking 2007, my boy. Since like 695s. Okay, the trellis has been gone. Forget the trellis. It's 20 pounds. Nobody misses it. People who talk shit about the trellis are people who have not ridden this bike. So my verdict is, I love this bike. I'm super happy with it. It's the second bike in my Ducati collection. I'm curious what the third will be. Maybe a Multistrada, maybe an off-road bike. But who freaking knows? This bike is dope. I love it. No regrets. 1,000% committed to it. I'm keeping it. I'm going to put 100,000 miles onto this bike. So that's how I feel. Please feel free to ask me any questions. If you have any concerns, comments, anything, leave them below. I respond to every single comment. So whatever question you have, I will respond to it. And as always, thank you for watching.